Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Hope you all are doing great. Welcome to our today's session of Meet the Global Leader. This webinar is all about knowing, the professional journey of an international professional. So we try to discuss about the student life, the professional life, to give an idea and insights about their professional journey from the student to the person there right now. As you know, like the audience of this webinar is currently studying at the universities, specifically in Bangladesh, to give them an idea, how people are doing things, how they have been implementing, professionals are doing things different in other countries, like how they have been implementing skills in their different tasks, and they are like the passion and about the profession. So today we have invited Miss Jerika. She is a senior consulting associate for business transformation, and she is a passionate advocate for financial technology and its potential to solve real world problems. She brings a unique blend of financial expertise and creative thinking to her work, honed through a double degree in financial economics and advertising from De La Salle University. Her impressive track record includes winning hackathons with ideas on Web3, digital inclusion, and blockchain. She also leveraged her marketing skills to conduct market research and competitive analysis for fintech companies at Senior Sign Corporation, and so on. So we are, not going to tell everything now. Let's welcome our guest speaker, Miss Zerika. Welcome to our session.
Hello, and thank you so much for the warm welcome. Thank you for your kind words. It's really actually kind of scared a little with the questions with how you introduced me, but don't worry. I'll hope I'll be able to answer all of your questions. But yeah, and share what
Definitely,
I
and
know with
hope you,
everyone.
and welcome to Bangladesh digitally. Like through this session, we're welcoming you in Bangladesh digitally. So, Zerika, can you share a little bit about yourself apart from what I've shared, and also if you share in brief about how was your student life and what did you do? Like apart from your study, that would be a great addition and an insightful information for our audience.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for that. Um, Actually, maybe just to give a brief background. So, as you've mentioned, I graduated from De La Salle University, double degree, so economics and advertising. During my college days, actually, it's really I wanted to kind of figure out what I wanted. That's the double major to have more options and that during that time I really tried my best to join a lot of different organizations to figure out what I really wanted, what speaks to me in terms of my interest, and also you know what's um what's the opportunity out there as well. So I actually joined a couple of organizations when I was a student, and one of them was the economics organization. So that's coming from my current course. um, um and that's also the time that I figured out, or kind of learned that in college you don't really necessarily use all everything that you learned, but it's more of the skills that you gain from college, like especially in orgs, and being able to work with different types of people, being able it's the work ethic that you learn, as well as also the how you organize events, how you organize different um how do you call this avenues for you to be able to kind of explore what you're interested in. So those were the kind of top two things that I took away from my college years, and joining different organizations. And it will also help that I took up a VP for marketing role as well during college in the economics organization. I think any type of leadership role will really help you a lot in terms of navigating also in the workspace. So yeah, those are the three things that I think the skill sets that you build really in college and took away with me.
Great. And what about skills wise? So, for example, if you can recall, before graduation or entering into professional sector, what skills you developed during, like being a student? If you mention some of the skills that you develop, that would also be helpful.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, like I mentioned, so leadership definitely one of them. Definitely in any role or any position, you would be able to utilize the leadership skills because it's not in your rank. It's how you perceive things that makes you a leader, how you become a problem solver, how you come up with more of the solution than kind of elaborating or emphasizing the problem. And I think that's one of the really crucial skills that you have to kind of need to take away. And another thing is also being a good communicator. Communication is not just about just speaking or being a good speaker, but it's more of really like, are you connecting with the people that you talk to? Is there, how do you get your message across in a way that really speaks to them? And I think that's just so wonderful, being a good storyteller, being a good communicator. It's really an essential skill in any type of role that you want to kind of enter into as well. And yeah, so those are the two things, I think the top two skills for me that you could take away from college as well, aside from academically the knowledge that you gain.
Definitely. And like internship. Sometimes students, like skip that very important part of their, like graduation, that they mostly avoid uh, doing a good internship. Say for example, good internship in a sense. Sometimes they will just want to do it for, like put it to get the certificate that oh, I have to do an internship. It's easier, and I'll just it is for, like getting complete the graduation or the degree. So, but for, like entering into professional sector, doing internship in say for example a good organization or in any organization, and really have the passion to learn through internship is very important. But sometimes, like students, they skip that wonderful opportunity.
Mm,
So what happens, like being lacking the skills,
mm,
having basic understanding how, like company function or operate, they actually fail to get entering into the professional life earlier rather than
mm,
before. So how was your experience as an intern, like marketing intern, that
mm,
you have John Robert Powers,
mm,
when doing your internship? uh, what was your, like realization that after college you will start, like you started your internship, and
mm,
what was your learnings and lessons to share from that experience to students, the importance and significance of having doing
mm.
intern and really eager to learn from doing it.
Yeah, wonderful question. Actually, I think basically the main purpose of internship is for you to practice what you learned. So it's really more of a hands-on experience that can help you kind of piece things together, academic knowledge with, actual practice and what's really needed in the industry. So sometimes it can be quite different, or it can be, you know, for some it might not be like something that they're really interested in. That's why I think na the purpose of internships is really to discover, what you want to do, and to help you understand what's also happening in the industry or what's needed in the industry, and how you conduct yourself in the workplace. So I think those were some of the crucial things, like if you are looking for an internship, or if you are, trying to do an internship, is to really look for a good mentor as well, because it's a good avenue for you to look for mentors. I actually remember that my previous boss, the marketing manager of John Robert Powers, is still a very good mentor to me. Even up to today, we still meet from time to time, and talk about life and talk about some of the learnings that I had, even though I didn't really go the marketing route. But actually, we were required to have only one internship in my university, and that was related to advertising because it's my second degree. But I actually intentionally took up three internships because I wanted to know, and discover. I knew that I didn't want to go to an advertising agency, and that was the reason why I actively search for different internship opportunities that I could try different roles. And it was more of like trying to, it's like a sandbox for you because at that stage you are um of course you experience some of the accountabilities of things. You have responsibilities. You also learn some of the things that you don't was not really directly taught to you, so in a way you learn how to learn during that phase. So I think that's what I like the best about internships. And yeah, hopefully you also will be able to kind of practice what you learned in terms of creating projects of your own, even if it's not in an actual internship under a company. So if that's the route that you wanted to take, yeah.
Definitely, and you mentioned three internships. I did this same. I whenever like before entering into professional life, whenever I got the chance, I used to like explore different functions, working for different companies, and sometimes there is a misconception that you can do one internship, but I would suggest we actually try to encourage students to engage any kind of activities, internship,
Mm,
part time, volunteering, that actually helps them develop confidence and give them the opportunity to learn something new and engage themselves with some professional environment and know what is culture and how different skills and knowledge have been implementing in different functions. So this is very important for them, an opportunity to learn firsthand and implement the things they have been studying at the university. So this is
mm,
very important. And can you elaborate on your experience as a startup enabler? What
mhm.
specific activities do you undertake in this role?
Yeah, so actually, this was my previous roles before I got into business transformation with SGV currently. So, as my previous role, my first job was in a startup company. So this was my first full time work, and I really wanted to be exposed to the startup industry because it was my passion that time. And um, so my role back then was ecosystem builder. It's mainly centered around creating partnerships and collaborations with different institutions, such as, just to give you a context, the startup company that I was with before was a fintech company. It's the first SEC licensed equity crowdfunding platform in the Philippines. It's called Round One. So they um, help founders find funding. So basically, my role there was, creating these partnerships and collaborations, creating webinars with them, creating workshops, and because crowdfunding is such a new concept here in the Philippines, we really need a lot of effort in terms of educating people, both the founders and the investors, and we did that through partnerships, and that was really um, the role that I was doing. But in startups, you wear a lot of different hats. So from that event, from those collaborations, you also get to connect with different leads, clients, and founders that are looking for funding, and we help them on board. And then we also talk to different investors and help them get funding. And so basically, yeah, it's centered around partnerships, collaborations, marketing efforts, but you also get to do some of the things that are outside your designated role, which is something very common in the startup industry.
Great. Also, can you share about your experience, participating in hackathons with a focus on Web3 and digital inclusion? Can you share some details about the ideas you developed and the awards you own?
Yeah, sure. So actually, hackathons are really a team effort, and I couldn't really get the credit for any of these awards because it's really coming from ideas from different people, and we just help the I helped them develop it. And the Web3 hackathon. Actually, I'm not an expert in Web3, but I really wanted to learn more about it. That's why I joined a Web3 hackathon, and it happens that it happened that I met a really just to give you a brief concept or context, it was more of a crowdfunding platform as well. So that's what kind of interested me as well, since coming from a startup with a crowdfunding startup, something that I can help contribute. So it's actually a milestone-based, decentralized crowdfunding platform for creators and builders. And you can check the website actually, DAO Create. So that's 8 as in number 8.com. And so it's kind of like instead of getting the funding in one go, you get it in chunks depending on the milestone that you reach. So that's something that what I like about hackathons is being able to develop ideas that you have. Some are just like very very vague ideas, but then you get to develop it within the short period of time. Like in 2 days, you get to meet people who are also good with what they do, and that's what I like about joining hackathons and being putting yourself out and out of your comfort zone, because initially I didn't really know anyone in this space or in this industry. And along the way you meet cool people, and then you kind of create cool things as well. So I would really encourage anyone to kind of if you have an idea, go join a hackathon. Even if you're not a tech person, I definitely am not a tech or a dev person, but it's also useful to have kind of a business mindset or background or creative background that will help develop these ideas. And yeah, so I hope you get to experience these as well.
Definitely, and this is kind of exploration. The
Mm.
passionate field, it is very important. And tell us about your like current role that you are doing. What is it about, and in general, the key tasks that you have to do, and how do you leverage your skills in copywriting and digital strategy for business transformation projects?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I actually choose to provide a brief overview of my role in SGV. So actually, business transformation is similar to creating a startup, but it's more of, rather than innovating a product, you're innovating processes. And that's kind of what caught my eye and what interested me in this role, because you get to experience different engagements or different projects and help companies bring in digital or digitalize their process. And bringing in these emerging technologies are, it's not easy. It's really requires a transformation. So yeah, from that, actually, what the skill sets that I was able to bring in from my previous job and experiences was more of actually project management. Because of the there's a lot of things that has to be done. You need to learn how to manage your own tasks and also the team. And so I think that really helped me in terms of my role now in being able to communicate with different departments, different people, and being able to manage project timeline, the tasks that we have to do, what is critical, that will help move the needle. And also stakeholder management. So stakeholder management in terms of I face a lot of different partners and talk to different founders, investors, and being able to know how to talk to these clients. It helps in terms of managing expectations, learning how to kind of communicate honestly as well with the clients. So that helped me with my current role in terms of interfacing as well with the stakeholders or the clients, especially in corporate. These are usually bigger clients. And yeah, so I believe those were the two skill sets mainly that helped me in my current role now as consulting consulting and business transformation.
Great, and this is very important. I mean, the stakeholder management is internal, external, and communication and emotional intelligence skill sets are very crucial in this, like tasks, and it's very important. So, like in your work, how do you see mentorship, seeking mentorship from people in different segments, and uh, in case of you, so how do you utilize this, like mentorship, seeking mentorship, for how do you seek mentorship from mentor, and how they're important for your success so far, if
Mm-hmm.
you have.
Yeah, actually, as I mentioned earlier, so mentors are really important in terms of really guiding you with your career. And, it's really knowing, just opening your eyes as well to the people around you that are potential mentors. They don't have to be your current boss. They don't have to be your professors. They don't have to be, people that are in authority figure. You can find a mentor in your colleague. So it's actually it's different ways of finding good mentors. In a way, actually, in my case, it was my previous intern boss, the marketing manager of previous marketing manager of John Robert Powers. But it's really also the places that you expose yourself to where you can find these people, right? So if you are interested in something, if you're interested in UI UX, just reach out to the UI UX community. You can maybe find someone there. You can just ask some questions too. You don't need to like outright say, na, "Oh, could you be my mentor?" Sometimes that's hard to say, but you can just try asking questions, and you'll find that people are more than willing to help. And that's what's actually good in terms of the in terms of like community or the industry. They're pretty open to sharing what they know, as long as you know how to ask and you ask the right people. And yeah, you can just reach out to them via LinkedIn, or you can find a good book. A book can also be your mentor. In a way, you get to learn a lot from these people that have passed on 20 years of experience, and all condensed in a book. So those are different channels of how you can really search for mentors. And you can just share your life experiences, what you're currently going through, your current situations. And you can find that they can provide you guidance and direction as well. Yeah.
Definitely. And can you walk us through your process for identifying and attracting potential startups to the platform?
Mm-hmm. So you're pertaining to my previous role, like in terms of finding startups that are raising funding, is that correct?
Yep, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. So, actually, as I mentioned, when we conduct these events like road shows or different webinars, we partner with different institutions. So these different institutions are very also we're also intentional in partnering with these institutions because we know that these institutions have already the membership base or the reach that is kind of targeting the quality founders that we are looking for. So that's actually one of the ways that you can do in terms of looking for, depending on your market, right? So if your target market if your target market is online, go there. If your target market is in physically, like in stores, go there. So um actually, it's we attract them through these events, free events, webinars, roadshows. And also we kind of present the value of crowdfunding, how they can um help them raise funding. And so those are just some of the avenues or some of the ways that we find quality founders, through these partnerships, through also the events, and through also, of course, marketing. And yeah, and basically it's more of getting to know them and speaking to them as well, one on one, like what's their story, what's the status of their startup, if they're really a match for what the platform is also looking for. And as I mentioned, actually I reached out to a lot of people via LinkedIn as well. So I just try to search for people in the industry. That's how we got started. And yeah, I think, yeah, that's a very good avenue as well.
Definitely. And you were working as a research assistant for Philippine Young Entrepreneurs Association, right?
Prior. Yeah.
Yeah. So, can you share a little bit about your experience as a research assistant? What was your task and your impact as by through your research that you had during that time, and what this like Philippine Young Entrepreneurs Association, what they do actually? If you can share briefly on that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so you can search them actually, but the Filipino Entrepreneurs Association is
Mm.
basically a group of people, entrepreneurs. They're a group of entrepreneurs that represent the ASEAN community as well. And actually, during my time in helping out with that engagement or with that research, actually we discovered some of the things about our ecosystem, Philippine ecosystem, that's quite interesting. So that research was actually commissioned by the International Labor Organization. So they do a lot of like researches in different countries as well, and to help out the marginalized, and to help out in this case or in this research the micro institutions or enterprises, or the MSMEs as you call them. And so basically we found that there's a lot of resources in the ecosystem. There's a lot of free digital and financial services as well, but these micro enterprises have to learn how to digitalize as well, since majority of them are still very traditional in the way they work or process things, very pen and paper accounting. So there are these digital tools that they need to be educated on for them to be able to leverage these existing resources, in the ecosystem. And yeah, that's one of the interesting things. And so for PYEA, they actually are the youth arm of PCCI, the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry. You can, yeah, just reach out to them as well. But that we also conduct webinars with them. So in partnership with the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, with different workshops on educating how to be investment ready for founders or entrepreneurs, and how to more of on the investment side, like how to look for good investments or something like that. So it's really both for the startup founder and the investor side, but these webinars are for the members of PCI. And yeah, so those are just some of the things.
Great. So, if you so for example, if you want to be an entrepreneur, and the impact of having this skill, doing research skill, can help you, in different ways. How do you see it? Like, a research skill for entrepreneurs, how this skill can help them in different ways. If you can mention few things on that.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Research is definitely helpful in any type of industry that you come in, you go into or venture into, because essentially research is like finding out, sources of information that you could learn from. So at its essence, you basically it's really searching for like kind of piecing together data or information as well that will help you have a better understanding of a topic or better understanding of anything that you want to know in the industry. Data, you can look at economic data, you can look at different, for example, factors or different, for example, um in my case, like for as a partnership ecosystem builder, looking for different leads as well. So research is an important skill, because it helps you open the gateways. Like, imagine at a time before when the internet does not exist, it's really hard to do your research. But research is not just limited to what you find in the internet. It's also for example, surveys or FGDs during our research. So that's really important insights that we got from people really on the ground every day, right? Doing their business, operating their business. So that's also a crucial aspect of research, that it's not just limited to what is available online or secondary sources, but it's more of also trying to go out there and try to put yourself in the shoes of the clients or the target market that you want to know or you want to service or you want to provide value to. And yeah, research just essential for so much things.
Definitely. Can you share about your startup, your experiences having like running a startup?
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah,
is it
sure.
about? Share in brief about your organization and your experiences of running it.
Okay, sure. Actually, I don't really want to call myself as a startup founder because it's not really something that I feel like I have achieved to be called a startup founder. But I did start a small business when out of college. Right out of college, I was met with the pandemic, so I start. There was an opportunity that presented itself in terms of delivery food, like so I started a small business. It's called Year Frozen Dim Sum. That was one of my first, kind of foray into like starting a small business that I manage and operate as well on my own, but with the help of some people as well. But um, so during this time, we saw the opportunity that people are looking for food, restaurant food, but all the restaurants are closed and no one was really delivering, and so people were panicking that time and kind of like buying a lot of things from the grocery. And so we saw the opportunity, what if we can deliver um, frozen food for people, dim sum, and because I'm Chinese, so that's fun fact. But so during that time, I learned a lot as well, in terms of managing operations and also doing my own accounting and kind of like deliveries, like logistics problems that arises, how to handle customer relations, because when you start a business, everything has to be done by you because you don't really have any people or hire any people, right? Except for maybe friends or family who wants to help out. But yeah, so that was my first kind of foray into starting a small business. But recently, actually, I was kind of born with a passion for like a creative outlet. I was looking for creative outlet, and my passion led me to um, creating another small business. So couldn't call it a startup per se because we're not really tech enabled, but my small business is called neoluma.ph. So this is basically I create earrings out of polymer clay. So if you can see, I'm wearing them right now as well. So some of my creations, I recently just launched my summer collection. If you'd like to take a look, we're on Instagram and Facebook as well. But yeah, so in that experience, it's a different kind of experience because all of the it's more of um I really like making crafts, and I like making um pieces, like clay pieces, and turn them into something wearable for people, to express their artisticness. And it's very unique in a way that not every design is the same, and it's like a collection. So different designs, it's just kind of like one of a kind type of business model. But yeah, so what's interesting is learned here. What I learned here is more of like, being able to also think of ways, creative ways to, come up with these designs and all. And being able to also manage, like, join bazaars, different events. How do you place the word out? Because, um how do you find your target market? How do you so the thing from zero to one, like if you compare it to a startup, right? So how do you go from zero to one? How do you launch? How do you, yeah, so yeah, it's a fun journey as well. So if you experience that, even if you just start small, it helps you gain insight into what you need to, or what it takes to be a startup founder. And I think it helps to, you can just if there's something that you're passionate about, or you like to do, or an idea that you want to execute, to try to execute it, because that's where you learn. You don't really have to be fully prepared or fully like masters of business and administration to be able to start a business of your own. But yeah, through these experiences, these accumulate, and eventually you learn now, okay, so this is how I do, this is how you do things. And yeah, so I would encourage people to just try out their idea and start a small business of their own.
Definitely. And like whenever it comes up regarding starting venture and or like do something new in business. sometimes, say for example, for students or who are very beginning in their professional career, they, it's all about actually negative news, especially around the country, that this, most of the entrepreneurs they fail, like they lost their money, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas rather that country, or like association of the society should like give opportunities and promote the positive news information about successful ventures. So
Mm-hmm.
this is very important, like, so having frustrating situations around, how students can prepare themselves to start their own venture. If you get some suggestion regarding how university students can prepare themselves to be an entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
the skills, what skills they should develop, and what knowledge they should have, basic knowledge, to like run their, if they want to be an entrepreneur, they can run their enterprise smoothly. So skills and basic knowledge, what skills, like key skills they should develop, and basic knowledge they should have to be a good or successful entrepreneur.
Got it. Yeah, actually, that's true that a lot of startups or entrepreneurs fail. There's no sugarcoating it. Being a startup founder and entrepreneur is really a hard journey. And, we don't kind of glamorize it in a way that, oh, if you're a startup founder, you can have all these things, but it's really a tough journey. It's a tough job because being having or growing, cultivating or developing something of your own is really like a 24-hour job. You don't really rest. um it's like similar to having a baby, but like comparing it, just analogies. But it's really, but it's in a way, I also want to encourage people to start their own ventures when they're young, because actually that's the advantage that you have when you're young. You have the advantage of exploring. You have the advantage of exploring things. You have still space to fail. You have space to grow, because when imagine if you are already older, doesn't mean that you can't start a business when you're older, but it just means that you have a lot more responsibilities as well, and you have to think of a lot more things, like your family. You need a stable income to be able to support and provide for your family. So during the exploration space, when you still have time to experience these failures that help you move forward, you should take the opportunity or the chance to be able to experience it, right? But that doesn't mean that it's for everyone. Some people are, shine if they're in corporate. Some people shine if they're doing their own thing. So it's really up to you to determine which path you wanted to take, or which path you wanted to try. But at the same time, you will run into a lot of challenges when you start something of your own. When I started, it was a struggle for me to find good mentors, because I really didn't know how to kind of grow, or what else to do in my business. So it's really a challenge, and you'll definitely face a lot of hiccups or frustrations. But I think one of the skills that you need to mitigate, or to be able to overcome them, is really having that entrepreneurship mindset, having that problem solving mindset. Because having a business is not just like, okay, I just want to earn for revenue, but it's really solving a problem. How will you, what kind of solution can you come up with to solve this problem? What kind of value can you give to your customers? And I think that's more important in terms of when you are starting to build a business or a startup, is really
Exactly.
addressing these persistent problems in the community, or actually providing value to people. And yeah, so I think one of the skills is definitely problem solving skills, like being able to really look at the potential solutions that are available to you, that's in your capacity or resources, and being able to apply them, whether you're handling your own business or in the workplace, right? Because actually, I would encourage people to also have an entrepreneurship mindset, even if they're working in corporate, because you have ownership with your work, or with what the responsibilities given to you. And you are, being an entrepreneur. So that's what I'd like to call it when you're in the workplace. And yeah, so that's one of the skills that you need to have to prepare for these things. And also, I believe it's part of it is already communication, like what I've mentioned before, but it's also being resilient, because for sure you face a lot of challenges, and if you're resilient, you'll just bounce right back up after each failure, and take it as a learning and move forward. But if you're not resilient, it's kind of hard to be a founder or start a founder or to start a business, because for sure you'll face a lot of difficulties, and if you're not if you don't choose to learn from them and choose to move forward, it will be difficult for you to continue. And um maybe that's why it's one of the most more important skills as well, I believe, that sort of founders should also have. And aside from that, so there's two: problem solving and resiliency. And I think character also plays a big role. Just the character of being a founder, whether you're a technical person or an idea person, we have different roles. um Learning how to what you are kind of where you work best at, where you're irreplaceable in. So that's also one of the things that's I think important, since, for example, not all founders are meant to be CEOs, because not all founders have the skill sets of the CEO. But founders can choose to be inventors. They can choose to just continue, coming up with their ideas and innovating. So those are like the things that I think are important, or that can help you when you're starting your own business.
Definitely. Thank you. Very insightful, advice and guidance. So you have certifications on, data analysis and time management. So can you describe how you have applied these skills to enhance your work in previous roles?
Yeah, sure. So actually, these certifications are more on just digital certificates I got from looking into like Canva, or no, sorry, Coursera, or different sites that you can learn a lot from, actually. So there are a lot of different sites available for you where you can get digital certificates. So for me, I intentionally chose data analytics, and as well as so it's more of building these skill sets that I think are kind of crucial to my work, and also that are foundational in terms of doing business in general as well. So for me, data analytics is one of the key skills that you should have as well, since knowing or understanding how to look at the data and draw the story from it is a crucial skill as well, since related to research. When you research, you have to look at data, and with the data, if you don't know how to interpret it or analyze it, right, it will be harder to draw insights from it that could help you in terms of decision making. So I believe, being knowing how to analyze data really helps a lot in terms of drawing insights that can help, again, in making big decisions, in for example, why, and helping you investigate what really happened. For example, if your sales fell through this month, or if it shot up the next month, you kind of like try to figure out, okay, what caused this. And that's always applicable in any role as well, because well, in business transformation, we also look at data and how to interpret it. And this can be macro or micro data. But yeah, so I feel like it's useful as well to have a knowledge in data analytics. Even looking at your social media metrics is also part of data analytics, right? So yeah. And um yeah, is there anything else you wanted to ask?
No, no, that's it. So, thank you so much, Jerika, for sharing your insights, your journey, and your student life. And because we try to connect the like the starting point. Like, say for example, how did you develop some skills, and like how did you see your student life as a person right now, that I wish I could have done this, or I could have time.
Mm-hmm.
So stuff like that. So you try to connect your like realization right now in between your student
Mm-hmm.
life and personal right now. So by doing so, we try to create awareness among students that having the golden spending like golden time of their life, the student life, if they just focus a bit about your future career, like whether they want to be an entrepreneur, or they want to explore their professional life, uh, just to create awareness, like, because the rise of the social medias, it is
Yeah.
very difficult for them to maintain time to study and do, like, for most of the students, to
Mm-hmm.
be impactful for their country, for their society, for the world. So this is very important. It's just because of having good awareness. So try to create this awareness, and just to let them know that there is a consequences if you are not focused or skilled enough when you are a student or graduating. It will give you trouble in after graduation in future. So like the insights, the experiences that you have shared, and the guidance advice you have shared is very valuable. And I hope, we believe that like students who have listened and then going to listen later on, they will learn a lot, and it will help them to like create an awareness among them, and to see things, how people professionals are doing things differently in other countries. So thank you so much on behalf of like School of Entrepreneurship Development. I would like to share our sincere gratitude, and wish you very best of luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you so much. And maybe just one last thing. So I just really wanted to encourage, and thank you, of course, for the opportunity. But I just really wanted to encourage as well the students, or if you're graduating, if you're just starting out in college. I hope that you try to explore really, because you don't have to have everything figured out. I definitely didn't have everything figured out, but things come up unexpectedly, and when the opportunities present themselves, it's better that you're ready to grab them, and that also comes with preparation initially in banking skills in your free time, like learning the things that you're interested in. And doesn't have to be conventional. You don't have to follow a certain path that you like, that you think is set for yourself, but because some of the things are really unexpected. And if you have these skill sets, or if you prepared prior, you can choose to grab the opportunity when it presents itself. And that takes a lot of courage as well, and strength, and going out of your comfort zone. And so I do encourage yourself to just explore, and try different things, reach out to different people, try to like figure out and discover what you really want to do. And it doesn't have to be a single thing. It can be different industries, but you can just take your time and explore them, and do, because at the end of the day as well, not everyone will have the liberty to do this. So if you have, you better grab. So yeah, so that's just something that I just wanted to also share. And hopefully, I hope that I was able to share something useful as well, that you can take away, even if it's just one thing. So yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you so much, Mabab.
Definitely. Thank you so much. And for the like definitely your realization, your experiences is going to like empower students with information and with guidance. So with that note, thank you so much, and we should have a very good evening, and we'll explore future collaboration.
Thank you, and have a great day as well. God
Thank
bless.
you. Bye.